Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to install the Hammerhead bull bar on this 2017 F-250. Let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that we're going to do is remove the four 18mm bolts that are surrounding our tow hook. Now you might have a plastic cover over this piece, so if you do, you just have to remove that. I'm going to take my 18mm socket and with a breaker bar, I'm just going to loosen up these four bolts. They're going to be pretty tight to start off with. Once we get them nice and loose, we can use our ratcheting wrench and finish taking them out. So as you get these bolts out, you just want to set them to the side because we are going to reuse them. So now on the back of each side, there's also going to be a backing plate, so you want to make sure you get that too. Okay, so here's the backing plate, and you're going to have one of these on this side and one of these on this side. You want to make sure we cover both of those because we're also going to reuse these. Next we have our driver's side bracket. It's going to mount up where the factory bolts came out. If you look on the top, you're going to have a flat surface. There's going to be a bend that comes up, and you're going to have four holes at your top. Now if we flip this upside down, our bracketry underneath is actually going to be facing the inside of the truck. And that's how you're going to distinguish this one from the passenger side. So when we flip it over, that bracketry now is going to be towards the outside. We're going to fit that up. Now we're going to have somebody underneath hold our factory bolt plate. And then we're going to use our factory bolts. Go through. And we can get all of those bolts started. Now that we got all of our bolts started, we can go ahead and take our 18mm socket and tighten these bolts down. So now I have a level on top of the bracket, so while I'm tightening these down, I can kind of check and make sure that this top piece stays level. And then go ahead and repeat all those steps on the other side. Alright guys, so now if you got the optional light bar and cube lights from Zilla, we're going to go ahead and show you how to install those now. So you're going to take the light bar, it's going to have these two posts sticking out of each side, and that's going to line up with the channel at the top of our bull bar. So we're just going to slide that in. And then we're going to use a washer on each side. A lock washer, which kind of fits a little snug, so you might have to work it down a little bit. And then a nut. Now we can use an 11mm. We can go ahead and snug those down. You want to make sure as you're snugging this down that you're keeping the light bar straight in the channel. You just want to go ahead and snug up each side. Now you want to make sure that you just snug it up. You don't go too tight because we don't want to rip those studs out of the light bar. Now we're going to take our flush mount cube light. We're going to install it from the front. Push that all the way through. Then we're going to take our provided Allen head bolts, push those through from the front as well. And then we're going to take a locking nut and put that on the back. We're going to do that on all 4 locations. Once we get all of those started, we can go ahead and take a 10mm wrench or ratcheting wrench and tighten those down. You want to make sure you also have the Allen key to go on the front. And we're just going to snug those down. Once we got all those snug, we can go ahead and repeat that on the opposite cube light. Next, we're going to take our bull bar and we're going to set it on top of our brackets. Now, if you look right below where our light is mounted, you can see that there's 4 welded nuts on top. So that's going to correspond with the 4 holes that are in each bracket. And we're going to take our provided bolt with a lock washer and a washer, and we're going to thread that up through our bracket and into our bull bar into those threaded nuts. We're just going to get those started. We're going to do that on all 4 locations on this side. So now that we have all of our bolts started on this side, we're going to go ahead and do that on the opposite side, and then we can tighten everything down. We're going to repeat that on the opposite side. So after you get your bolts tight, you're going to want to make sure that your bull bar is level. So ours is, so we're good to go. Now your last step would be to plug in your lights. Now everybody likes to do this a little bit differently, but this is a plug and play system, so it's actually pretty easy. You're just going to plug in your lights, run your wires to your battery, and then you're going to put your switch wherever you want in your cab. All right guys, that completes the installation. If you have any questions, give us a call or visit us online. Thanks.